Hi, welcome to Physionic, where we learn the body from the macro to the micro. If that's something you think you'd be interested in, then consider subscribing. Alright guys, today's video is another subscriber question, and this subscriber question comes to us from Rational Learner, a long-time subscriber. Now, Rational Learner wants to know, how does IGF-1 or insulin growth factor 1 impact muscle protein synthesis? And you might be able to guess that it has a positive impact on muscle protein synthesis. But I'm going to give you a little bit of the mechanism, and I'm going to also illustrate another thing that it does for your muscles. So IGF-1 is a communication protein, if you want to look at it that way, that binds to a receptor, and insulin growth factor receptor on the actual muscle cell or cells in general, and then that transduces a signal, so meaning that the molecule itself does not move into the cell, but it leads to a conformational shift. So the protein that's on the other side of the cell membrane changes. It kind of moves its conformation, the way that it's structured. And when it does that, that leads the cell to be signaled, or to transduce a signal, to move the signal on down through a cascade. Now that cascade eventually leads to an impact on a protein that I've mentioned a few times before, named mTOR, or mammalian target of rapamycin. It's also named other things at this point, but mammalian target of rapamycin is what's most well known for. So mTOR then further transduces on particular other proteins like 4-EBP, I think that's 4-eukaryotic binding protein, and an initiation factor which bind to our genes and lead to greater transcription and an eventual translation of that mRNA into actual proteins to then be used and integrated into our musculature. But not only does IGF-1 have an impact on that, it also has an impact on degradation. And it does that through the phosphorylation of a particular protein by the name of FOXO. So FOXO is a transcription factor that moves into the nucleus when it's not phosphorylated and then activates particular genes, which would then lead to greater degradation. So IGF-1 has the opposite effect by phosphorylating, adding a phosphate group to that FOXO protein, which then leads to that FOXO protein, now phosphorylated, cannot enter the nucleus. And therefore, if it's blocked from entering the nucleus, then it can't act on those genes, and therefore you don't get an increase in the degradatory gene pathway, or one of the degradatory gene pathways. So IGF-1 has two main ways that it can impact our muscles. It certainly increases muscle protein synthesis, but it also has an impact in muscle degradation. So hopefully that answers the question for you, Rational Learner, and anybody else that was interested. And with that said, I hope that I have the absolute pleasure of speaking with you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Bye.